Hey there, Tubanites, it's your friendly neighborhood Flash in the Pan with another mag painting video. Like I told you, I have an outstanding neighbor who is moving to somewhere where he can't hold on to such things, so he gifted me a fair amount of magazines and ammunition. Berto, you're my guy. This one is going to be a little different. The vibes, if you will, on this one are going to be a little more I asked my wife to describe it because women understand colors better than men if you don't know. This is not a tactical color at all. This is for fun. This is for giggles, and you may even poop a little bit. There's a message in there, maybe. So she begrudgingly described this as bold pastel because I kept coming up with pastel. She disagrees. She thinks these are more beach colors. Which I can't disagree with. So if you've seen some of my David's crappy modified Adirondack and drinking table videos, you've seen some of these colors. This will be very much like pinks and seafoam blues and stuff like that. Very just not tactical colors, but I think it'll be fun. For me, there's a little bit of like 80s vibes, Miami Vice, kind of neon. Not quite, because I'm too lazy and cheap to go buy actual like neon colors like that. I'm just going to use what I have, which you've kind of seen in some of those videos. I don't really have a dedicated idea for this, but what I want to do is use the black, the base color, is kind of the dividing color between these other colors, but I want it to be a linear divide. I don't necessarily want to use the grids that we already have for Magpul on this, but I may very well turn off the camera and just get lazy and do that very thing. I want it to be more like wonky though, cattywampus. Wonky, or which is more, probably cattywampus is the best one for how I'm feeling. That being said though, like it's gonna be a bit of a chore to tape all of that. So it depends which wins, my OCD or my laziness. It's a constant battle. There, inside of you there are two wolves. Let me drink a little beer, because at the time of filming this it is Father's Day, so I've earned that at least. Drink a couple beers and play with some tape and see where we end up. I will bring you back before I start painting. I will show you our colors. I will show you how I've decided to tape this and maybe kind of where we're going with it. And it's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be, you're not gonna like it, but you should stick around anyway, because why not? See you in a minute. Okay, this there's no way to really copy this per se. So I've got kind of this diagonal pattern going on here. So I did the diagonal first, and then I just did this part to kind of break up the bigger sections on these right here. That does give me, if my count is right, 10 spaces. And I have 5 colors. So my math tells me that that's 2 spaces per color. How I'm gonna break that up? Should I do it random or should I do it structured? Again, OCD versus, I didn't get that perfect though. Look at that, not quite lined up just right. But anyways, it's for fun, it's for giggles. Look, it's like this. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll bring you back when I figure it out, and I'll have one of the colors painted. Alright, cool. Stick around. Alright, so because I'm still a dude and I don't really want a lot of pink on this, I'm gonna choose the smallest 2 spots to put our prickly pear pink color on. That will be down here and right up there. That's gonna be it. I'm just gonna real quick on those 2 spots, and then we're gonna move on, because that's silly. Why you don't, who, it's fun, but come on, you know, you'll see. Alright, so we got our green and pink done. There are 7 spots left. I don't know if I talked about this already because it's been about a week since I did this. It's been drying inside. 7 spots, 3 colors left. So what I think I'm going to do is this little triangle there is barely even a spot. So I'll just have one of these last colors have 3 spots, and the other ones will just get 2 apiece. I think so. Now what I'll do is I'm just going to tape over this spot and this spot, and then same thing on this side. I thought about maybe rotating colors, but I think I'll just do a mirror image, just keep it very symmetrical. So our next color is probably going to be yellow, which I don't really care too much for this guy here. So I think we'll do that down here on our kind of smaller squares, or I don't know if you call it smaller, but anyways. So we're going to tape up these other holes, spots, whatever, so they don't get covered. They've already got a fair amount of overspray on them. No big deal. And then we will do the yellow. So I will just bring you back whenever we're done with the yellow. Okay, so we've got our yellow done now. I'm gonna redo all the tape. I might let the yellow dry a little in the house before I try and tape over it. We'll see how this other stuff peels off, but especially being summertime in Texas, things don't really dry super quick, and sometimes when you peel that tape off, if you go back and watch some of my American flag ones, you'll see that more glossy paint, what do we got? Yeah, gloss. It's a little stickier, a little longer, whereas your flats tend to not be quite that bad. So we'll probably get this other tape off, get whichever I'm going to do next. I'm probably going to do the coral next. We're going to get that section off, get the yellow taped up. But again, I might let that sit aside for a little while before I tape over the yellow. But either way, when you come back, we will have the coral done. Stick around. All right, so we have our coral done. One of you guys didn't warn me that I had some uncovered green areas that got splattered with yellow. You're supposed to say something. So I will do that. I'll touch that up later with the green. But down to our one last color, which is our seaside blue, green, blue, whatever that is. So we're gonna cover up our coral, uncover our last blank spot, and then we'll paint that blue. And then I'll probably do all the touch up with green off the camera, and I'll just show you guys the finished product. Stick around. Alright, so we got results with our little pastel experiment, and there was a lot of taping, retaping. I thought about, so it's there you go. Pretty basic, I mean, for all the work that it took to get there. I thought about maybe going back in and trying to get a white line maybe in the middle of all this, but man, that's a lot more taping, and I don't like it enough to really put that kind of effort into it. This will kind of a fun, goofy range mag, just something different to play with, as I like to say, to keep our hands busy. I'm probably gonna try and do another version of that bottomland camo. I didn't really like the way that turned out. I like to play with that a little bit more and maybe actually cut out the pieces so they look a little more rounded, kind of like that the snow camo that I came up with, which didn't turn out that well, but I did like how it had a little more rounded shapes in there. But anyways, I appreciate you watching, and see you on the next one.